Hi and welcome back. In the previous video, we looked at how to create a table for the user so that it can store the details for our users for future login. Now, in this video, we will look at how to create a model that will now form part of the MVC so that we can query and manipulate the user data. So let's head straight to our application, and then I'll use the code generator to generate a model, and in this case I'll need to generate a model based on the user table. Just click that, then preview. So as you will notice down here, um, this user class already exists in our application, so we can switch back to our applications. Then in the models folder, you can see there's a user class. So I'll just remove it and then we start from scratch so that you learn the different aspects of it. Good. So I'll overwrite it so that generates a new model class. Good. So right here we have our new model class. As you can see, it has a lot of things, rules, attribute labels, etc. So the first thing that we want to do with the user class is to ensure that we implement the identity interface. Now, if you are new to E2, identity interface is an interface that is implemented to provide identity information throughout the application. So uh, as per the description, you can see that this one is mainly implemented by the user model class, which now, as we will learn later, it is a very useful class in terms of authentication and authorizing different users within your application. So in terms of the key methods that we are supposed to implement, we have can actually just quickly check the source code so that we know which kind of methods we can implement. So there's the find identity, and then find identity by access token, get ID, get auth, and validate auth key. So think like 5 methods that we need to implement. Now, instead of just going back to the main, you can copy right here. So the user table, user class implements the identity interface. So let's import that. Once you've imported that, you can implement a couple of methods. Let me see if this has that. Okay, it doesn't have, so we can just copy these ones. Okay, so back to our class, then just paste. Now, in terms of what these ones actually do, so find identity, it basically accepts an ID and then it finds one user of the specified ID. For the find identity by access token, it takes token and type as the value, as the parameters, and then finds one user where the token, in this case, we might need to change because our table is named auth key. Okay, yes. But in some cases, you can still use the access key, access token name. So in this case, I just say auth key. So we will be using the auth key for access authorization in future. Good. So in terms of get ID, it will return the ID. Get auth key, it will return the auth key. Then validate auth key, it will also take the auth key and then validate against what we have in the DB. Now, once we have these ones, we need to add a couple of things. can just go to the advanced template to get a couple of ideas. So in terms of the status, so can have these three status, or you might have more, depends with how your application works. So in this case, this is just a constant for status deleted, constant for status inactive, and then constant for status active. Good. And then in terms of let me see a different thing. So we can add as this behavior, the timestamp behavior. What the timestamp behavior does is that it pre-populates the created art and updated art values. So just put it down here. Timestamp behavior. So this one, the timestamp behavior, remember, generates the created art and updated art values. So I can just remove this from required. It's not necessary. Good. And then what else can we do? So in terms of rules, we can just narrow down to these two. I'll briefly explain what they're doing, because we will not use this class directly to do to sign up our user. So there we go. So for status, these are validations in E2. So what this line 53 means is that status, the default value is inactive. Status inactive. In my case, I want it to be active because I don't have the mailer for receiving the emails so that they can activate the account. So I just want them to have the accounts active once they create them. But based on different scenarios, you might want to change that. Good. Now, in terms of the line 54, what it means is that the value for status should be within the range of status active, inactive, or self or deleted. So if a value is provided that is outside this particular range, the validation will fail. The other aspect is ID. Okay, find by username. Yeah, we can do that. So you can implement find by username, find by email, depending on how you want to do this. I will also just remove these attributes. They are not really useful for this particular case. Okay, so find user by username. So it find the username where the account status is active. Good. Let's see something else you can also get from this. Find password reset token. So this one is used for, can use this particular code for validating the password reset token when users request for new passwords. So what this does is password reset token valid. So there's a method that we need to first implement. In this case is find verification token. So one good thing about the advanced template is that it comes with a lot of basic things that you want so that you focus on building your application. Okay, even though you still need to do most of the work in terms of the logic. So what this does is that it finds if the password reset token is valid and then returns a boolean value, which is a true or false. So this is for line 88. These are basically PHP functions for the substring and also the string position. On line 89, there's these params user password reset token expire. Now, this one is a parameter, and if you want to see how it has been specified, it should be in the config files, and then params. Then you'll see use password reset token expire on line 7. I'll just copy the two of these so that we don't have to come back here. Okay, so copy that in our parameters. Good. So we have that. Then what else? So for this particular method, is password reset token valid? That's okay. Then there is this find by password reset token. This one is okay. What it does is that it validates the token, and then if it's true, it will find one user whose token is equivalent to the token that has been provided, and their status is active. You can obviously implement this in other ways to suit your needs. So the other part we can also get from this is find by verification token. Now, this one might not be useful for this particular case, given that we are, once our user creates an account, they will be active. But what E2 advanced template does is that when you sign up a user, I mean the advanced template, when you sign up a user, the status will be inactive by default, and then the user will receive an email with the verification code. So once the user clicks on the link provided in the email, they'll be able now to run the verification, the account verification. If this returns to true, it will now validate their account. Good. I think these are the most important ones. I'm not sure if there is any other one. Let me check quickly. Validate password. Okay, we need that. Then, yeah, a couple of things. So first, let's generate a moment. We need to generate a password, I think, or we need to validate. Okay. So there's this method to validate password. Validate password. I'll just go down here. So I know, guys, you can copy this class right away and move, but I think it's good when we just try to understand what's going on in every method. So what this does is that it accepts the password, and then it runs the validate password um, function, which is part of the security component that comes inbuilt in E2 framework. So this one, you don't need to pre-configure it. You just need to understand that it exists. If you want to know more, you can just get the E-based security component, and you'll see a couple of methods that you can use. So what this does is basically the password and then the password hash. As you might have noticed, in our database, we don't have an actual field to hold the password. So what happens is that our password is converted into a password hash, and I believe there is a method for that here. Okay, let me just put it down here. So this, when we will see how this function is used, the set password function, and then so it accepts the password. Once you pass in the password, it will set the value for the password hash by generating a hash for that particular password. So that's how the password is set in E2. Obviously, you can run your own, can do your own magic based on your use case. Any other thing? There's this aspect of generating the auth key. So this one again is just trying to remove a lot of work. Okay, so generate auth key. So this, what this does is that it runs the security component generate random string method, and as you can see, by default the length of the string is 32. You can obviously specify the length if you want, but once the string has been generated, it should be assigned to the auth key. Something else, same case for generate password reset token, generate. So just couple of functions, couple of functions are using the security component. Okay, let me just copy that quickly. Then, okay, so this one generates password reset token. So all these functions, you can find them in this particular class. They use the advanced template common models user.php. Let me see if we have something else pending. Set password, validate password, auth key. Okay. Good. I believe we have everything. So that's how you implement different methods in the user class. And remember, the user class has to implement the identity interface. As we had checked, the identity interface has like 5 methods, which among them is find by is what? Find identity by access token, find identity, get ID, get auth key, validate auth key, among others. So guys, that's pretty much about this video. In the next video, we will now create the actual model that will now use this particular class to sign up, to create new accounts for our users. See you in the next video.